Hey everybody, this is Johnny Gioeli from Hardline, Axel Rudy Pell, Crush 40, and so many other projects. 95 albums. Can you believe that? But you're watching me right here on CMS TV. Rock out, people.
Hi, this is Lacey from Bourbon House, and you're watching CMS TV.
It's Kiss right here on your classic metal show with Got to Choose from their Kiss Alive release. And that one going out by request to Hardy Boy. Just before that, we heard Eclipse with Forgiven for Chuck in North Carolina. Humble Pie in there with Shut Up and Don't Interrupt Me for John Phillips. Heard some Chevy from the folks up in the north there with the Rook for T. Cusbra. And of course, kicking off that rock block there was Havoc with Circling the Drain for Chris.
Perfect.
So did it give you enough time to get your shit done over there?
Yeah. I had a little more time than expected since we're suspended on Spotify.
What do you mean we're suspended on Spotify?
We're suspended on Spotify.
Why? What happened?
Copyright.
Oh, for what? What did we play?
Fair use, the same shit that we always fight. Some we played 30 seconds or a minute of something, and they're bitching. So
they suspended us for doing that. Was it this show or was it one of your other shows?
No, it's this show. Mm-hmm.
But you don't know specifically what it was.
They give me a very long code.
Okay.
And they say this is the episode that's suspended, but it's not the name. It's just like 3QXP4 dash blah 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 dash blah 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 blah. So, I appeal it as I always do, but I see that writing on the wall as I did with YouTube. So, and in one of my other projects, because I don't have enough to do, Corey and I are starting a new web hosting company.
Okay.
And one of the options with the builder software is to launch our own Spotify type of a deal.
Okay.
Which I am actively building because I'm tired of being censored.
Right.
I'm just tired of being censored. So it would just make the most sense if I don't even take a chance with Spotify or Rumble or YouTube or whatever. If we have our own platform and nobody's suspending us from it.
Right.
So that is kind of where I'm going with this is now the means are there to do that. So I'm looking to do that.
So is is Spotify one of these people that give you a couple of warnings and then you get suspended, or they just suspend?
Well, you would think so now, wouldn't you?
So it's just a one and done type thing where they just.
Yeah. I mean, I get over the course of the years that we've been on it, I get messages every so often that say, this episode has these things. And then you have to go through each one and say, you have options. I'm not allowed to use this. I used it by mistake, whatever. But in every circumstance with us, it's fair use.
Okay.
In every circumstance with us, it is talking about, you're allowed to play a clip of music, and as long as there's commentary on it. And we do that, but, every once, it seems like it's the bigger artists. I don't know the one that got us suspended, but I would bet almost anything that it's either Led Zeppelin or U2 or Heart. We've been playing some Heart recently, okay. Genesis. Right. It's usually the big ones that are the ones that complain the most, but whatever. Complain all you want. I don't give a fuck. Look, the podcasts are still up everywhere else except Spotify. So if you if you're a podcast person, not a video person, you can get it on Apple or Overcast or wherever else. So it's there. It's also on Locals. All the episodes are put up on Locals. Locals is the place. Locals or Substack. If you go to those two, it's all there. But I just need to build us our own little planet. Even if the only one that uses it is me, at least then I know where everything is should there ever be a problem.
Sure.
You know, I'm tired of fucking being a slave to these cuntbag companies.
All right. Well, how do you really feel, Chris?
I hate them. The censorship bullshit is crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
It's that we can't play 1 minute and comment on it, but commercial radio can play the shit free endlessly without any fees.
Right, of course.
Without any licensing fees. You know, is what it is.
I mean that's what we dealt with years ago when I had who was it from Judas Priest? KK Downing commented on it, and that made the music news, like the Blabbermouth and the Brave Words and things like that. Where he was just like, I would like you guys to be able to play my music.
Yeah.
Where again, commercial radio doesn't have to pay any royalties or anything.
Yeah, it sucks. It just sucks all the way around. That's why I want to have our own, because I just don't want to deal with these fucking companies anymore. I love Rumble, love Substack, I did love Spotify up until this week.
All right.
But it's crazy that they don't even give you a warning or, hey, you're suspended for a week like YouTube does or whatever.
Right.
Nothing.
So you really don't know what the suspension means as far as like a length of time or anything?
Nope. It doesn't say. It just says it may never come back. I don't know. I appealed. I get an error. I get a message that says your appeal has been received. We'll email you with our decision.
Okay.
Oh,
well, at least they didn't suspend us for saying faggot or something.
No,
it was just a music copyright thing.
Yeah, I had somebody in the YouTube comments bitching that I put the commercials. I don't know if you've seen what I'm doing with YouTube, but
I don't look at that.
I put up a lot of segments, but I put them up in like 10-minute bites.
Okay.
Just little bites on subjects. That way, I sort of keep track here when we do say faggot or whatever that YouTube won't approve. And I keep those segments off it, but I put up other, when we're talking about Sebastian Bach or Queensryche or whatever, I can put all that nonsense up. But since I don't give a shit about YouTube, I load that shit like crazy with commercials. if you YouTube people are going to force me to have comments or clips up there, then you're going to fucking sit through another dumb commercial for one of my books or CMS merch or whatever the fuck it is. You're just going to have to deal with that because I don't care about YouTube. I hate YouTube. And I don't really want you to watch on YouTube. If I need to remind you that we're there, I'm going to remind you the way any pestering marketing person does, by promoting the shit out of it.
Yeah. Well, I see that, even the regular YouTubers who actually, make a living doing their uploads and stuff, how often they comment that, well, I have to be really careful here when I say blah, 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 or I need to be, I can't play this clip because, they'll be discussing the news or something that happened, a police interaction or something. Well, I can't show you the whole thing because, YouTube's won't let me do that, or I can't talk about this because YouTube won't let me do that. I have to be very careful.
Right.
Because, some people who have been successful at having a successful channel and probably make a couple of dollars at it, they don't want to risk their, their income stream just because they used a certain word or showed a certain video or used a certain phrase it's like, holy shit.
Well, dude, it's so crazy now with the censorship. Like, look, There's a feature on here I would like to put up. I'll put it up just for a second here. If you look, it'll come over your thing a little bit, but
All right.
I just turned it on now. If I go over to here and put a comment, test, it'll put the comment on the screen. I don't know if you could see it there.
Yeah,
on the
I
bottom.
saw that earlier.
I was messing with it.
Yeah, I had seen it pop up there at the very beginning of the show.
Yeah, and we could put comments up. Like I could just let the comment stream go if I want to, and it'll as they come in, they'll be on the screen, and people can see that, and that's cool. Except for if somebody drops an N-bomb or something on here, then we can't have it on YouTube. Because YouTube will shut us down. How stupid is that?
It's the album that changed everything, Metallica's Black Album. In Cause and Effect, Metallica, author Chris Akin takes you back to the lead-up, the release, and the shockwaves that followed. Relive the moment that divided fans, reshaped heavy metal, and turned commercial radio on its ear. With insider stories and personal memories from rock critic and radio personality Chris Akin, this book is a backstage pass to one of rock's most iconic moments. Get your copy now at chrisakin.net or on Amazon. Don't miss out on this epic journey through heavy metal history.
Okay.
It's dumb, right?
I agree.
So I am trying to do what everybody wants as far as putting things onto the broadcasts or whatnot. What I think I might do is just put, because we get the conflicting things from people. Some like the super chat thing, which I know we have talked about a million times. I'm really thinking that with the new OBS, once I get it set up, I'm pretty sure I can set up locals chat to be on the screen, and the locals guys are not nearly as bad at dropping N-bombs and, filthy words and whatever. So, the words that are bad words. So I might run the locals chat so that they get their stuff on the screen all the time. And then I'll give Barden his way, and anybody that's in the free chat can do a super chat if they want their shit on the screen. So I may do that. I don't know. I don't know that I still hate the idea of super chats. I hate that. But all three shows, everybody wants to do super chats except me and you. All the fans, everybody wants to do fucking super chats.
Okay.
I can't. And look, I watch some shows that make a lot of money doing super chats. I was watching a show last night. I watched this one podcaster, JD from New York.
Okay.
JD from New York, he does a wrestling podcast every day. And I watch it pretty much every day. This fucking guy makes about $3,000 a show.
Really?
I sit around and listen to the math, and people throw in big money. Like, here's a $200 super chat.
Wow.
They'll throw in $200, and then they'll be like, I thought John Cena sucked tonight, or whatever. It'd just be the dumbest shit. And it's like, man, they are paying. And I'm like, all right, well, if people want the super chat, they can pay for it, I guess. I hate the super chats. I hate it. I know Eric wants me to do it. Seth wants me to do it. I just feel like it cheapens the fucking show. To me. I don't know. Do you feel like that?
Well, it's not that. I know the part that cheapens the show is when you're begging for it.
Yeah.
But if people want to sling their money out there, unsolicited.
Yeah. I just hate the thought that they think that all of a sudden then we gotta dictate around their fucking chats. Like,
well, yeah, they control the show. They control the content.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, again, I see other people do it, and when they accept a super chat, it's usually if they're like you and I are discussing something and somebody wants to chime in with something that's relatable to what we're discussing, to read their comment.
Right.
Like we're talking super chats right now. So somebody throws $5 in there and said, well, the reason I like super chats is because yada, yada, yada. You know what I mean? I don't see that as interrupting the flow of the show if it's pertinent to what we're talking about. But just to throw a super chat up there, you guys need to talk about this. You need to talk about that. Or I don't like this subject. Move on to something else. Yeah. Again, there's a pro and a con to it.
Yeah. Look, everybody's saying, well, we've created a class system with locals. Yeah.
Well, it is. It sort of is.
It is. You're absolutely right.
But the thing is we're not begging you to do it.
No. And we're not robbing you of any content, not 1 ounce of content of the show. You don't have to join locals to catch every minute of the show.
Yeah.
You can watch every minute of the show live, every single minute of it, including the third segment. If you want to support it, then you support it, and then you get something extra. And believe me, I am as active as anybody on the locals. Anybody that's in locals will tell you I'm posting 10 times a day on locals. So the locals gets tons of extra content that you're not getting here. That's it. I don't care. I don't care. So it is what it is,
Yeah, I get you.
Put up a super chat. Don't put up a super chat. I don't give a shit.
Right. Well, I mean, who am I to not relieve you of your money if you just want to throw it out there?
Yeah. See, and this is exactly why I don't want to do super chats. That's exactly why I don't want to do super chats.
Right.
Because I find them to be stupid. And somebody will. Somebody will absolutely throw a $10 super chat up there with a picture of their dick and want me to put it up. No. It just seems like a big pain in the ass. I'm happy with locals. Locals is good.
Yeah.
If you want to do a super chat, go ahead.
Yeah, nothing.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, nothing prevents you from throwing money into that Rumble chat or that local
whatever that is, Rumble's rants or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Click there, put your $5 in. Tell me what a piece of shit I am. I don't care.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
Right.
Looking to sell your car quickly and for top dollar? At buyyourcars.net, we make it easy. Whether your vehicle is new, used, or even damaged, we'll buy it in any condition. Fast offers, quick cash, and hassle-free transactions. What more could you ask for? Just visit buyyourcars.net, enter your vehicle information, and get a fast offer within minutes. Ready to sell? Call us today at 770-815-0342 or fill out the contact form at buyyourcars.net. Get cash fast for your car the easy way. Buyyourcars.net. Selling your car has never been easier.